back to a brand new episode of Red, White, and Brown, brought to you by Daisy's Live. And today we got you a great list. We got 3 movies and a series that we're going to talk about today, ranging from a new release in the theaters all the way to some of your favorite streaming platforms. I know that we had a busy week with this, right, Em?
Totally. And before we get started reviewing the shows and the movies that we have for you today, let's all wish you a very happy 2023.
Exactly. We hope you had a very happy holidays with your families over the Christmas week. We will be moving into a new year. So definitely think of some resolutions. One resolution should be following all of our social media accounts. Daisy's Live
Really.
on Instagram, Daisy's Live on
Talk to
Twitter.
us. Talk to us. Absolutely. So
Exactly.
Michael, we had what, 2 movies and 2 series this week.
Yes.
And so do you want to get started with Circus?
Yeah, we're going to start with one called Circus. This was the one that came to the theaters recently. Actually has one of my favorite actors in it, Ranveer Singh. But we're going to talk about this movie and why it really wasn't the hit that we were really hoping for. So Circus is an interesting movie, in my opinion. I can't really tell. Was this supposed to be a remake, of Comedy of Errors?
The basic premise, it's a remake of Shakespeare's Comedy of Errors, but there is another movie made earlier called Angur, and that had legendary actor Sanjeev Kumar in it. And I thought the story starts with that because the story has 2 sets of identical twins. There's the Roys, which is Ranveer Singh's, and the Joys, which is Varun Sharma.
And Varun Sharma, again, great
Varun
actor,
Sharma
right?
from Fukre. Oh my God, I love the guy's comic timing. He's a comic to the core, but for some reason he's just not utilized in this entire movie for more than 2 hours. He's literally got nothing to do, and he's such a good actor with great comic timing. It's just how many people were just wasted to give Ranveer Singh more screen time, and there was no one Ranveer Singh, there were 2 Ranveer Singhs. However, the similarity ends there, and the fun just stops, because the whole idea of Comedy of Errors, the whole idea of Angur was situational comedy with 2 sets of identical people, where everybody around them mistakes one for the other. Right, so that was the premise. However, that requires pace. That requires a very fast-moving plot for it to get confusing and funny, and it just lost the plot in being slow, and not only slow, but also just inserting like haphazard, absurd songs in the middle.
I agree.
Which just breaks the entire momentum of the comedy.
Right. I think this was kind of trying to go for like an older Adam Sandler type movie vibe, because we had it's supposed to be silly in nature. We have Ranveer Singh, who is the owner of the circus. He's the electric man, and he can pass electric through his body, and every time that happens, like, his identical twin feels a little bit of a twinge too, right? And it's supposed to be like silly in nature, right? A little bit far-fetched, but you're right. Like, the pacing of this movie was very much destroyed with like the random inserts of songs. I think too, just like some of the comedic lines that they were giving were either like trying to be like, oh, this is Ranveer Singh, laugh at Ranveer Singh, right? Or they were very much just I don't know, like you said, carelessly slapstick or whatever. Which, hey, slapstick is a comedic genre that we here at AC's Live really enjoy. I mean, I know that Em and I watch that type of medium all the time, but it was just here. It was just like a hodgepodge of different elements that they were trying to throw together, try and put together a decent film. Would you agree?
Totally. And as I said earlier, the whole movie was designed to give Ranveer Singh's characters most footage, most plot. Most scenes as well, because obviously he's a big actor, he's the crowd puller, but that made everybody else, and all of the actors are known comedians, and it made the rest of them really jobless. So as I say, they didn't get a lot of plot, and also they didn't get a lot of screen time. So given that this was Rohit Shetty, I expected it to be stylish. I expected it to be Bollywood stylish. And of course, there's some really brilliant actors, like, for example, Sanjay Mishra, who plays Raisab here. And what a brilliant actor Sanjay Mishra is. We just watched another movie from him last week that we reviewed with Neena Gupta called Vad, where he's the killer. He's the old, teacher who becomes a killer, and now he's this over the top funny comedic character in this movie where he imitates an older Indian actor called Om Prakash, who unfortunately is no more. And he does it to a hoot. Every time Sanjay Mishra is on the screen, oh my God, I laughed out loud because of his impersonation, and the way he's hilarious imitating the actor. And then respected comedians like Johnny Dever and Tiku Talsania, Siddharth Jadhav, who actually they made him look like Jim Carrey with the puff at the top, and he's making his face move like Jim Carrey does. Yeah. So a lot of there's so much potential with all these actors, and all potential is lost because they just didn't have screen time. Then there's another actor that we actually like a lot because he was in another movie called Hasi to Fasi, which is our all-time Thanksgiving movie. If all of us are together for Thanksgiving, we will watch Hasi to Fasi. Christmas time, we'll watch Hasi to Fasi. It is a movie that you can go watch hundreds of times and you won't get bored because it's such a funny, light, beautiful movie, and I highly recommend it, Michael. I'll send you the link. I want you to watch this movie.
Of course.
And there's an actor in the movie. His name is Anil Charanjit, and that guy is here. And I was hoping that they would give him the platform to perform because he is such an amazing comic. But yeah, there was some scenes between him and Sanjay Mishra that were completely hilarious. But beyond that, he just did not get the canvas.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. It seems to be the theme here is utilize Ranveer Singh in a different way. I think Ranveer Singh can actually create great synergies with some of the other actors and actresses, such as Varun Sharma, or we had Pooja Hedge in this, Jacqueline Fernandez. I think that he can definitely create some great synergies, with these other great talented actors. But when you make it a show just about Ranveer Singh, it doesn't really give there much opportunity for the rest of the cast. And we are going to transition into a different type of